This is breaking news from ThailandTV.news. Now all the Thailand news is in one place. The latest reports from around the clock and around the world. Breaking Thailand news from all the world's top news sources, translated into 11 languages and updated 24 hours a day. Here's Ali with more.
ThailandTV.news has it all. The latest news, weather and sports updates, plus up-to-the-minute events listings and fun things to do in Thailand. And that's not all. There's also entertainment, lifestyle, and travel news, including the latest visa information. If it's happening in Thailand, you'll find it here at ThailandTV.news.
It's all here at ThailandTV.news. All the latest news, weather, sports, they even cover ice hockey. It's all done at ThailandTV.news. Yes, it's all the Thailand news, all in one place.
This is Thailand's biggest night for hockey. This is Hockey Night in Thailand.
You know, sometimes in a life of being around sports and getting the chance to call games at professional level, and you know, now obviously here with the Siam Hockey League, there are games that you look forward to, there are games that you really look forward to, and then there is Greg Beatty versus Lance Parker in goal when your two color commentators for the first game of a doubleheader face off against each other in game two. I have to say, Scott Murray, this is one I'm very much looking forward to.
We should have them mic'd up, that's for sure.
No, we actually I made a joke about that during the week in our group chat, and Keith, who you see sitting next to me, Keith Mueller, executive producer for Hockey Night in Thailand, Keith took that serious. I was making a joke. Keith responds with all the technical details of how he can actually pull it off. I said, well, okay, let's put the brakes on because we should probably ask Greg and Lance how they feel about playing with a microphone on. You know, I know that Greg would do it because he's a good sport. I think Lance would love to do it. But yeah, either way, it is Lexicon Lumberjacks against Aware. My name is Adam Gottschalk. Scott Murray is with me, who just played in Game 1. Scott, it's been a few weeks since you and I have done a game together.
Yeah.
Good to see you again. Nice to have you up here.
Nice to be back. You guys have done a terrific job, and it's been really fun listening to you and watching you over the past few weeks.
We're just about ready to start this second game. Lexicon Lumberjacks coming in riding a 6-game winning streak. They're 10-3-1. Aware won last week. They're 4-9-1. But tell me, Scott, as we just get ready to start this one, what does Lexicon Lumberjacks, number one, what do they do well? But number two, what have they been doing well as they've taken that start of the year with a 4-game winning streak, had a 4-game losing streak, and now they've won the last 6. It's been a streaky season, but what are they doing effectively right now?
Well, they're only 3 points behind KCG for first place now, and they're playing much more together as a cohesive unit. I mean, they're firing all cylinders, as it were. I mean, they're forechecking, they're back-checking, their scores.
Oh my goodness, Matthew Maillard just fooled Lance Parker. Top shelf. The game's first shot is the game's first goal. I apologize to Lance. I was supposed to give him the good luck. He came up here to get that Siam Hockey League TV juju, as it were. But, well, everybody needs to settle in.
That was a nice shot by Matthew. Nice shot. He picked the corner right. Lance wasn't ready for it.
That was just millimeters below that crossbar. Really hard one to stop. Matthew Maillard, just like that, before we even tell you who's who on the ice, Maillard gets his 9th goal. Aware coming in with a negative 30 goal differential, but scoring first against a really good hockey team has got to be a nice confidence boost for those guys. Here's Kim Arola for Lexicon. The Lumberjacks 10-3-1, Aware 4-9-1. Lexicon today playing without one of their real blue line studs, Ken Kinborn, who's not here, as that shot saved by Beatty. He gets his first save of the game. But Aware, even more players who are absent. They're missing
half their team.
Yeah, they've got, I think, 5 of their, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their everyday players are here. The rest of the lineup, 5 players for Aware today are substitutions. There are 2 international tournaments going on. We talked about this in the first game. There's one in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. There's another one in South Africa. They're the under-18 teams, which does take some guys from this league, as there are some young players who participate in the national team for Thailand who are a part of the SHL. But it's also some of the coaches. It's guys who work for the teams who are missing.
Ken is there. And so is Nick, who missed the first game for KCG. They're both in Mongolia.
So is James Speck. So is Jimmy McAleer, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, which are the 2.
But Jimmy would be playing.
And James would be coaching.
Yeah.
So 1-0 our score. Aware got the goal from Maillard.
But this has been an interesting game so far. The play's been back and forth. I mean, you know, the odds makers in Buriram had this much in favor of Lexicon, but Aware's held their own so far. Nice save by Greg Beatty.
Beatty, hugging the inside of the goalpost, was able to get his boot on it and kick it aside. Sorry, I'm just updating my roster. I'm getting messages sent to me from Dom with uniform numbers of the substitutions. I'm going to be limping through this one for Aware. 5 guys wearing the substitution jerseys in this game. No Patrick Forstner, no Ernesto Bauer, no Ono Susutikul. There's 3 of the key contributors for Aware who are not here. For Lexicon, there's Hideki Nagayama. He's wearing number 12. He's the only non-roster player. There's a steal from Shakhnovsky. His shot flips up high, and I think that was going to be over the goal, so it may not be officially a save for Beatty, but he stays with it and pushes it aside.
Now, there's a little bit of controversy here, because Hideki, who's substituting for Ken, has said that he did not want to play for Aware. So in a league that doesn't have a lot of controversy, there's a little bit. But
Hideki's playing for Lexicon today.
Right. But so he said he wouldn't want to play for Aware. So there's a little bit of more mustard on the stove for Aware.
I'm sure there's a story behind that which may not be something that's suited for...
It's interesting because Hideki's a former captain of the Thai national team, and Thor, who we see out there, number 16, who just took a shot right now.
That's correct.
Is a former captain of the Thai national team as well. So even though we've got these tournaments abroad, we are well represented here by players that were, you know, really former key members of the Thai national team program.
Roger Promtong, who's handling at 88 in blue, is also a...
And here's Hideki. Look at him go. Now, his father is actually the photographer for the SHL, so all those images you see on Facebook, they're taken by Hideki's dad.
It is Lexicon in blue, trimmed in yellow and black. Aware in the red jerseys. Here's Kim Arola, who fires one that Beatty takes to the blocker, and it stays in, though. Still offensive zone possession time for Lexicon, but there's a turnover, and now skating back is Harrison Oztamel for Aware. Oztamel tries to dangle and give it back to Maillard, but the puck was loose and flipped out of the zone by Arola. Promtong has it. He's got Shakhnovsky with him. Promtong tries to sneak the pass across the goal crease, but it skips on through and back out to neutral ice. 1-0, Aware our score, leading Lexicon here in the very early going. If you have not watched SHL hockey before, it's 17-minute periods with the clock running. The only stoppages would be if there were things that had to be addressed at the scorer's table. Here's Oztamel.
Tape pass.
Oztamel's shot is stopped and covered by Parker. It started to skitter away just a bit, but Shakhnovsky was there to make sure it stayed in the goalkeeper's possession. So with that, you can see on your screen the roster for Aware, although you could ignore half those names, as we just told you, they're not here.
I think number 10 is Dunk, and he would be about 16. He would be the youngest player in the...
Yeah, that's correct. So here are the numbers, by the way. It's
okay, it is Dunk. It is Dunk.
Replacements today for the Aware roster are Yin, who's in 23. That puck is in on the rebound. Justin Saint-Denis gets it. What would you think that might have been?
Well, I don't think it did go off his skate, but the referee ruled that it wasn't kicked in. But it did go off of, it wasn't directed in by his stick blade. It did go off him.
So it's 1-1, and for Justin Saint-Denis, that would be his 8th goal of the season.
Lexicon's out shooting him 2-1. But I think Aware's had, they've had some good scoring opportunities here. They have to try to keep the momentum going here. They don't want to fold because they're in this game.
So I was saying it's Yin in 23, Mankorn Sukwebun is in 39, Dunk is in 10, Thor is in 16, and Brett Ferguson wearing the jersey number 6 for Aware.
Yeah.
Hideki, who Scott was just telling you about. Oh my goodness, that was almost an own goal. That was unintentional as Shakhnovsky was facing away, and the puck that was one of his teammates tried to clear ends up just kicking off of the back of his skates. But
Harrison was worried before the game that he wouldn't have enough replacement jerseys for all his substitute players. But somehow he's been able to scrounge enough up.
That's a steal from Devin Michael.
Nice
shot teed up, and a nice save from Parker, who got just enough of that to angle it high. That was Thor who teed that one up. And now back comes Lexicon. And Shakhnovsky's got Saint-Denis in front of him. He tried to pass from one side to the other to Arola, but it was behind him and intercepted, then stolen right back. 1-1 is our score. We are 8 minutes in. Aware scored first. Lexicon just tied it up. That's Yin. The hard thing for me as a non-native Thai speaker, as Parker snags that one, gets the whistle, is phonetic pronunciation of the last names of some of the guys we don't see every week.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why they've all got these nicknames, and even when you're listening to the Thai sports commentators, they'll tend to use their nicknames instead of the long streams as well. So, I mean, it's a lot easier to say Yin than antenna croc cricket.
The first game I ever broadcast play-by-play for in my life, I was 17, I think, 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there. First game I ever called on the radio live was a basketball game played by the Croatian women's national team.
Okay.
And you want to talk about a welcome to the big time kind of broadcast where you're sounding out last names for the Croatian national team, and you've never done this before. I think that prepared me for almost anything. That is a tape that I have long since burned. Here's Kim Arola. Arola, beautiful pass.
Oh, what happened?
And an even better defensive play as Eric Fowley blocked that one and kept it out of what was a vacant net. It was a perfect pass from one post to the other, but Fowley, 13 in red, saves the goal and preserves the tie.
Yeah, BDO's Fowley a beer for that one. There's no doubt. That was
Harrison Ostermill raced to that puck, and he got there first.
No, shoot
and
it.
what a play!
No! Oh,
that one ripped just wide. Man, both sides. Maybe this is as Parker makes that save and holds on. Maybe there is something to it. We saw, as we talked about in our first game today, we saw Jesse Starasta do color commentary for one game and then go out and score a goal. We saw you, Scott Murray, do color commentary duty and then go downstairs and score a goal. So in the first game, Greg Beatty was up here doing color, and Lance Parker said, you know what, I want some of that luck too. It seems like there's good luck whenever somebody's up here doing color. So we had both of them on microphone, and now both of them get some puck luck, combination of pretty nice plays, and Parker just makes another one. Lance Parker is zoned in right now.
Yep. It's a great story with Eric Fowley. Back in 2011, he was living in South Carolina and went to a South Carolina Stingrays game. Playing for the Stingrays back then was Rory Rollick. Rory Rollick today is the under-18 coach for the Thai national team.
No way.
Yeah. So Eric came out to shinny for the first time about a year and a half ago, and he shows up at the rink. And the first guy he sees at the rink is Rory. The last time he saw Rory was playing in ECHL, and Eric was a spectator. So talk about a small. Wow.
That's in. That's a goal. That was a shot from Thor Chartsuan that just got past Parker. It hits the post on the left side and bounces home, and it's 2-1. Aware takes another lead.
This is going to be a close game. This isn't going to be like the first game. These guys. It's tough for guys throwing together so quickly like this to mesh, but they're doing a good job. I like this guy Brett Ferguson on the right. He's not pretty, but he's got the grunge look going, but he grinds away. He can play forward. He can play defense. He likes to muck things up. He reminds me a little bit of Mike Ricci back in the day with the San Jose Sharks.
That's quite a comparison. That's a great player.
Yeah, well,
I used to love Mike Ricci.
He's got the look going, and he.
I just love that you referred to the South Carolina Stingrays as a Washington Capitals fan. There's another goal. That's a nice pass. And Devin Michael just got his 4th goal of the season on the feed from behind the cage. It's 3-1 Aware, and Devin Michael puts that one home. Beautiful feed and a nice finish.
This is the makings of a huge upset right now, and it'll give an Aware a winning streak that they haven't had all year. That'll be 2-0 if it keeps up.
Also for Greg Beattie, who hasn't played in several weeks here.
Yeah.
Nice confidence boost to get staked to that early lead as well.
If you'll notice, Mancorn's wearing number 39. He's wearing one of Devin Michael's old shirts. Devin has been with Aware since the inception of the team 6 years ago. So there's more Devin Kerr Aware shirts floating around than there are any other shirts. And I believe at one time there were 5 Devin Kerrs on the ice when they needed replacement jerseys. So that I'm glad you weren't calling that game, because that was maddening.
I can't even imagine.
Kerr to Kerr to Kerr over to Kerr.
We did see, I think it was one game earlier this year when there were 2 Roman Larens, and that was enough to throw me. There were 2 20s in the KCG uniform back. I think they were wearing red in that game as well, because that was before everybody got their jerseys in.
Right.
But Lexicon down by 2 goals, and that one stays out. That was Nagayama, who's 12. You know, every time he touches the puck, I haven't seen, as far as I can recall, Nagayama play, but I can understand why he was the captain of the national team. He's a good hockey player.
He played in Denmark. He played in Canada. Unfortunately, when he went to Canada, he had 3 concussions, and I don't know that it might have been better for him to go play in Europe at a young age, because he was playing in a very tough league in Ontario, and he got bounced around a lot. And I think by the time the 3rd concussion had come around, his parents were like, "No, we got to bring you home."
Kimarola just missed wide. There's a shot that's deflected away and misses the net. 3-1 our score. Aware with 13 shots, 3 goals. And Lexicon Lumberjacks 1 goal on 11 shots. We have just the final 3 minutes here in the opening period. Kimarola drops one back to Shakhnovsky. Nice play, skate to stick, turns around to Hongswati, whose shot was blocked. And here comes Aware with a 3-goal lead. Maillard looking to create. Got it back to Devin Michael. And there's Brett Ferguson, who you were just referring to, number 6 in red. It's Michael, the goal scorer. And his pass intercepted in the middle by Arola.
There you see,
very nearly had it taken right back, but John Shakhnovsky has it. No numbers for Lexicon as they'll change the lines, but Shakhnovsky got through himself. He's got Joe Seavey down there with him.
I think it's Joe Seavey III.
That is correct.
I think he's the first player in SHL history to have numbers after his it's a great trivia question.
I think as a play-by-play guy, I'll just stick with Seavey unless the other 2 Joe Seaveys end up out on the ice at the same time as well. Just for the sake of speed, let's say. We got Mark Vatsis a little slow to get up. He's down on the ice in front of us. I didn't see the contact, but he's in a bit of pain. Shakhnovsky just scored. John Shakhnovsky's 2nd goal of the year.
Okay.
He picked up a loose puck and poked it home past Greg Beattie, who I think was down and out. He might have been collided with on that play, or he went down to try and get to the loose puck while it was sitting on the ice. But we have ourselves a 3-2 hockey game and give Shakhnovsky, the commissioner, the goal.
So Now, Beatty's going to be playing for Shakhnovsky's team in the upcoming City of Angels tournament here in the over 45 division.
Here's Oztamel. Aware has seen their lead trimmed back to 1 goal.
Oh,
that shot was deflected by Mancorn up and out of play. 60 seconds remaining in the opening period, and as always, quickly to our stations, a reminder that when this period comes to an end, it's going to be your local break. So to all of our producers and board ops, wherever you may be, whatever network you might be watching this on, it is going to be your break in now 45 seconds. Pretty tight first period, 3-2 our score and 13-12 on shots. Make it 14-12, possibly 15, depending on when that whistle blew, but the puck stays out of the net.
Yeah. See if they get one more scoring chance here as the clock ticks down. 25 seconds. Of course, we've got running time until the last 2 minutes of the game, if it's between 2 goals. But
face-off won by Lexicon, but not cleanly, and it's taken back by Aware. They've got 10 seconds left to create something, but that one will come on through, and that should tick the last seconds off the clock here in the opening period. And as the buzzer sounds, now we will step aside. 3-2 Aware, perhaps an upset brewing against the league's #2 team, riding a 6-game winning streak. Lexicon Lumberjacks back with the second period after this. It's Thailand's biggest night for hockey.
This is breaking news
Hockey
from
night in Thailand.
ThailandTV.news. Now all the Thailand news is in one place. The latest reports from around the clock and around the world. Breaking Thailand news from all the world's top news sources, translated into 11 languages and updated 24 hours a day. Here's Ali with more.
ThailandTV.news has it all. The latest news, weather, and sports updates, plus up-to-the-minute events listings and fun things to do in Thailand. And that's not all. There's also entertainment, lifestyle, and travel news, including the latest visa information. If it's happening in Thailand, you'll find it here at ThailandTV.news.
It's all here at ThailandTV.news. All the latest news, weather, sports, they even cover ice hockey. It's all done at ThailandTV.news. Yes, it's all the Thailand news, all in one place.
Back with the second period, a 3-2 lead for
what a
Aware.
save by Beatty.
And we just saw Greg Beatty make the season-ending highlight reel, stacking the pads on that one.
He used to play with the Boston Bruins alumni. He looked like Gary Cheevers there again.
That is highway robbery, and Greg Beatty just made 2 10-bell saves in a row and preserves a 3-2 lead, and now Oztamel will try and build on that. For Aware, it's been an entertaining game so far.
No, I think Lexicon came in very overconfident, but they're past that now. They know they're in for a battle, so they're bringing it to bear.
You know, there are great players on this Lexicon roster, but so much of their offense this season has run through Kinborn, who plays the point for them. He's kind of an offensive-minded defenseman. That pairing of Kinborn and Omelka has been maybe the league's best offensive-defensive pairing this season. And
is Omelka playing? I haven't noticed it tonight.
He was also a late scratch. That's correct.
Okay.
So this morning when Lance gave us the rosters, he told us that Dennis wasn't going to be here, but he did make the final roster. I'm not sure whether he's a part of these trips or just couldn't make it today, but he's not in the lineup. So that's a big it's a good note. I hadn't written that one down because he was on my game day roster, but that is it's a big difference. I mean, you talk about the strength of this Lexicon Lumberjacks team, and a big part of their strength is the pairing of Kinborn and Omelka.
Yeah, no, for sure. Dennis played last year in the SHL, and he played for Aware. He didn't have a very good time. He wasn't.
That's a steal. Shakhnovsky just intercepted that one, but it's poke checked away by Michael, and then taken away by Saint-Denis. Steal, and then another steal, and now Arola's shot is kicked aside. Greg Beatty with a third consecutive nice stop to start this second period, but too many defensive zone turnovers to feel comfortable if you're Aware and you're nursing a 1-goal lead. There's a steal. Maillard just flings one towards the net. It was saved by Parker, but it ends up in the corner.
Now, if you know anything about Thailand geography, there's a small town called Pitsanaluk, which is about halfway in between Bangkok and Chiang Mai. And that's where Yari, number 23 on defense for Lexicon, lives. So he's literally traveling about 600K for this game, if you can believe it. I mean, you complain back home you're 25K from your rink, but I mean, imagine driving 600K or kilometers for your game. Well, that's what he's done.
That is no joke of a drive.
Yeah.
I know where Pitsanulok is.
Yeah.
That's, what would that be, about 5 hours each way?
Yeah. So he's now. I mean, sometimes he does fly, but still, I mean, that's quite a commitment to come and play here in really a game that takes less than an hour.
I haven't checked I don't have my statistics in front of me. I closed my laptop screen, but I don't know that he's missed more than a game or two this season either.
No, I know. We used to have a guy that would actually fly in, if you can believe it, from Prague. Now, he didn't fly in every weekend, but every third weekend or so he would fly in. He's no longer with the league. He actually helped sponsor a team, Jason Bitter. But that was the longest distance that anyone would come. But having said that, in country, nobody's traveled more often than Yari to come to these games.
Prague?
Prague. He literally had a business in Prague, and he would fly in, if you can believe it. He would fly in for the games, maybe do some work here on Monday and Tuesday, then fly out again.
Here's Shakhnovsky. He's got Saint-Denis and Seavey with him. That one is off the backboards and back out. It's Mancorn wearing 39. I keep getting thrown off. You already mentioned that it's a Devin Michael jersey.
Yeah.
Held in at the line foully.
Oh.
There's going to be a whistle, and I think they'll call it offsides. It wasn't, but it's close enough to, the game moves fast.
Devin Michael's going to be a dad in a couple weeks too, so his lifestyle is going to change dramatically.
It is nice proof, I guess, to your wife or family back home in the Czech Republic that, honey, I swear I'm just flying over to Thailand for hockey. You can watch the games on Thailand TV.
I'll tell you a funny story. Years ago, do you remember Ben Gustafsson? He played for the Ben Gustafsson played for the Washington. Do you remember Hakan Loeb?
Of course.
Well, Hakan Loeb was coaching a team called Fargestad in Sweden, and they wanted to bring over Fargestad, which is like an elite Swedish team, to play to do some training in Thailand. But none of the Swedish wives or girlfriends believed that they would just come. So Hakan Loeb gets on the phone to call me, and he says, "I need you to write me a letter that says that."
Well, thanks to the work of guys like you, Scott.
No, but
one day people are going to say, "Oh, you're going to Thailand. It must be for hockey, right?"
Yeah. Well, it was funny because I can't. Probably it might have not been Loeb himself. It might have been a missionary for Loeb. But I was supposed to write a letter and document there was an ice rink here, and that there was training facilities and they could play, because the wives and girlfriends were not going to let them get on the plane without documented proof that there were ice training facilities here. They thought they were just going for one big party. So I did write the letter, but they never showed up.
That was. Oh, there's a steal. Promptong got it. It was just off the skate of Maillard, but no harm done. It was taken right back by Ferguson.
I just wanted to mention, you don't get stories like that watching the NHL.com. I just wanted to point that out.
Well, there's no NHL teams in Thailand.
No. But I mean, you just don't get those kinds of stories.
Nobody's wives make them write a letter to go to Winnipeg.
I know that. This is why you want to watch the SHL every week, for these kinds of tidbits.
Nice save by Parker, who's able to hold on and squeeze the glove. Oh, good times. 3-2 ours. There is a hockey game going on. It's 3-2, and in shots, 18-17 Aware over Lexicon Lumberjacks. Nice game so far, and look, I don't mean any criticism. Winnipeg is a lovely city.
Yeah, it's just cold as hell.
Eric Fowley makes the interception. He's going to tell a story about remind me later, we'll come back to the topic of the ECHL, because that was, my goodness, another Greg Beattie play. Both goalies now have been able to keep one out that was deflected incidentally by their own teammate, both on that side of the ice.
And the shots on goal are almost even. They are.
That one knocked the goal stick out of Beattie's hands.
That was such a powerful wrist shot. It came right out of Greg's hands. Wow, you don't see that often.
Beattie has 17 saves on 19 shots.
Yeah.
The other way for Parker, 15 saves on 18. Here's Shakhnovsky's shot that handcuffs Beatty. It kicked up in the air, but it's cleared away for a moment. Still in the offensive zone, though. Saint-Denis behind the net. He's got Q Prasop lurking right in front of the goal mouth. Shakhnovsky down there as well. That puck deflects high and behind the cage where Q Prasop picks it up. He's defended on the play by Fowley. Works the puck around where it's held in by Arola. For a moment, it was tangled up behind the net as Chartsuwan fought for it, and it's covered, and a whistle will stop play. I believe, and I'm not completely certain because we don't have internal stats in front of us, but from memory, I think there's no score in this period. It was 3-2 at the end of one, I believe.
Yeah.
So far, a scoreless second as we reach the halfway mark in this hockey game.
This will be a big confidence booster for Aware if they can pull this one out.
For Aware, the story all season long has just been manufacturing goals. That's it.
Well, one of the players that Harrison, their captain, drafted early on was a guy named Corey Day. And Corey skated with us on Thursday at Shinny, so he could be back in a couple weeks, and that'll help them.
He's only played one game this season.
Yeah,
has
yeah.
Day.
He's
There's a steal and a gorgeous pass and an even better save as Beatty just robbed Promtong.
Beatty's going to be pretty tired tonight. He's all over that crease.
That one just ends up right between the skates of Beatty, who's able to squeeze it. You know, as we talked about this in the first game, but tell you, because Scott, I'm going to need your help with this a little bit. There's this program we've been doing, this OTR show, which is on Thailand TV and, of course, on YouTube. Thank you to everyone who's checked us out. The channel is doing quite well lately. It's been growing nicely, and so we've decided to celebrate by doing a story in a couple of weeks on hockey. Matthew Maillard, by the way, has the puck. That one flipped wide of the cage. Wanted to do something for a while to promote the SHL with our channel, but we are a food and history channel. How do we do it? How do we make this work where we can cover Siam Hockey League? You know, we've got a couple videos now that are up over about 100,000 views. We got one video that's up at like 250,000 or something now, so they're starting to get some traction. I want to give some love to Siam Hockey League, and so now we have a donut shop outside, opened by
Tom
Stasny, and it is not only unbelievable donuts. I mean, I have a couple to take home in my backpack. I had a donut sandwich, the ham and cheese, for dinner, but also just the fact that, you know, it's Tom Stasny. He's a fantastic hockey player. He comes from a great line of hockey players. That's a terrific save from Parker. But yeah, it's a cool story, and it lets us kind of spotlight the community a little bit and interview some of the real characters of the league. I want to get Gabor on microphone. I
don't know if you want to get Gabor on. Well, just as long as he's sober. I mean, he was drunk first game. He was drunk, and we still lost. I wanted to do a sobriety test mid-game. I'm saying there's no way. But I guess you know, I don't know. Anyway,
Promtong has the puck. Nice pass to the middle to Saint-Denis, and Beatty in the right position to stop it and squeeze it and get the whistle. Point being, I'll talk to you guys as we get closer for how we want to plan this, but I'd like to do a really nice feature on the Siam Hockey League through the eyes of the community center / the barn / donut bakery outside. And that's another beautiful save on a rip from Arola, and Beatty got some help, I think, from a teammate behind him to keep it out. It looked like Dunk, who was standing behind Greg Beatty, who might have deflected that puck away on the second attempt. Either way, here it comes down the ice. Racing after it is Oztamel to get it for Aware. They lead this game 3-2. No score here in the second. It's been a 3-2 margin for quite some time. Kim Arola will counterpunch back for Lexicon. Arola circles behind the net. Lost control for a moment. He'll battle with Dunk. And it ends up teed up for a blue line rocket shot from Nakayama. Anyway, that's the story of this video we're going to do. They're going to film it in a couple of weeks, and I'll talk to you, Scott, when we get closer.
Okay, you might want to do it in the daytime. It's pretty dark in Tom's place at night. That's the only thing. So
I think it's going to be a full day sort of endeavor from our side. For usually our taping is it's a bit of a mission. I can't wait to try and get. So our cameraman, videographer, Jasper, who grew up here in Thailand, born and raised here. I can't say this definitively, but I'm going to guess he's never been on ice skates before, but I want to get him down there to film with the handheld before the game, so we're going to have to teach him how to skate. There's a pad save on a shot from Arola. Saint-Denis has it. For a moment, it was stick-checked away by Yin, and it trickles back out to neutral ice. 4 minutes remaining in a second period that's seen a lot of shots and no goals. That one taken away, and back is Thor Chartsuwan, 16. He's got Devin Michael with him. Ferguson there as well. That one to the blue line and kept in onside.
Oh,
and the
I thought
second
he had
opportunity
that.
from Michael is just over the crossbar.
Oh.
Here's Ferguson's shot, gloved by Parker, and he will hold. Look, I got my wish. All I wanted from this game, I had 2 wishes for this game. Number 1 was for Lance Parker and Greg Beattie to play really well. Check. Number 2 was for this not to be a 0-0 game, because that would be incredibly boring to call. And so, yeah, I got my wish on both counts. Really fun hockey game so far. And a lot of tension coming into the third period, especially if this score holds.
Yeah.
Pan Hong Zwadi will charge after. He got 3 minutes left here in the second. Aware actually had a 3-1 lead at some point in this game, but it was Lexicon who answered. Matthew Maillard has it.
Now, this guy's an enigma because he's got all the tools, and even though he does have 9 goals, there's nothing to laugh at. There are people that just expect more of this guy, because he can skate, he can shoot, he can pass, and there seems to be just something missing that keeps him from being an elite player. But he's got all the tools, and maybe one day they'll just come together and it'll be just lights out.
You saw that incredible performance in the game that the young player who was, I think, in the Czech Republic playing professionally right now, Kadyrov. Danila Kadyrov, when he was here. Maillard had a hat trick in that game.
Yeah, no, he's got it. I mean, it's just maybe it's just more consistently. Now, I don't know if that was. I don't. Mancorn did a triple Salchow on that. I'm not really sure if that should be an embellishment. To be honest, I don't know. Everybody's
laughing, including Peem, Jarrod Woody Prida, who smirks as he skates towards the penalty box. Justin Saint-Denis is not laughing, that's for sure. But either way, it's going to be a power play for Aware, leading 3-2, and with a chance to build on it.
Now, we should point out that Jeb, who made the call, is the dean of refereeing in Thailand. He's really the godfather of Thai ice hockey, and all the referees have learned from him. And he's the one who's basically supplied all the hockey equipment here for years, and he's really been the go-to guy that's made hockey happen.
I will say, and I'm not joking when I say this, the officiating in the SHL is substantially better than in the NHL.
I don't know.
I get frustrated with calls watching this league so much less frequently than when I'm watching a Caps game.
Did you see Van Fleet?
Oh, what a pass. Chaknovsky in alone, breakaway, and he just had it trickle off the end of his stick.
Did you see Van Fleet of the Raptors name the referee in the press conference and go after him the other day?
No, I read about it. I didn't actually see it.
He only got fined $30,000, which I was surprised. I mean, fine if Van Fleet wants to go off, but I think the fine should have been stiffer, because the problem now is you've set a precedent that anybody can come on and target. Like, it was different because he was naming the referee. He was, he wasn't just saying the officiating; he was actually naming the ref, and the ref may have done a bad job, but it's kind
a thankless job.
Yeah,
Parker down and out, and Aware just couldn't get that shot off in time to capitalize. We have roughly 20 seconds left here in the second period. When the third period begins, there will be 50 seconds or so remaining on the power play for Aware. Reminder to our stations, by the way, in 10 seconds when that buzzer sounds, it's going to be your local break. Let's see one more opportunity for Aware, but Cadiz just rolled one towards the net, and that's it. Period ends. What a third period we have in store in a 3-2 hockey game with Aware leading Lexicon Lumberjacks. Back with the final 17 after this on Thailand's biggest night for hockey. Hockey Night in Thailand. Well, I want to invite all of our viewers to join us on Friday to celebrate Keith Mueller's birthday.
Oh, thank you. And St. Patrick's Day.
And St. Patrick's Day, there's that too.
That's right.
I don't know where we're going to have the party yet, but I'm sure it'll be one of those bars that's probably the reason why the Swedish hockey team can't come to Thailand without a letter of permission.
There was some question about what is a soapy massage in the questionnaire.
Again, these things you don't get to see on NHL broadcasts.
No.
Either way, an early happy birthday,
I
Keith.
thought Doc Emmerich one time mentioned that, but I could be wrong.
One of the all-time greats. I would not be even remotely surprised. I really, really miss Mike Emmerich. The NHL has not been the same since he hung it up.
Who was the guy, the color guy for the Pittsburgh Penguins that had all the crazy sayings?
Oh gosh. So, if you said the name, I would know. I also will tell you that as a Washington Capitals fan, there's not enough money in the world to convince me to ever watch a Pittsburgh Penguins telecast.
But if you Google this guy's name, it's like it's Mike something or other, and he's got all.
Well, there was Myron Cope.
There was the Turtle Creek
Steelers legend.
Oh,
anyway, here's Matthew
Mike
Maillard.
His name
His
was
shot saved.
His name was Mike Lang.
Oh, Mike Lang, of
Mike
course.
Lang.
The play-by-play guy, not the color guy.
Sorry,
Mike Lang, yeah.
And tie her up, it was Turtle Creek.
He shoots and scores.
But the sayings he came up with.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Mike Lang was a treat to listen to, except when the Penguins win. 3-2 our score. Aware leading Lexicon Lumberjacks. This is, if we're being serious and we're talking about hockey, Scott, the last 15 minutes of this game are really important for Lexicon, trying to keep pace with KCG, who won in the first game today. There's a 3-on-2 for Lexicon. Nice pass, but just an inch behind Hong Swati and taken right back by Mancorn for Aware. This is a game that Lexicon really wants to find a way to win. Nico Cadiz trickles towards the gold mouth, but it was not sure if it ever got through on net. Now here's a breakaway from Peem. Jarat Woody Prida, his shot saved. Rebound also saved. He got 2 whacks at it, but Greg Beattie kept that one out. Really cool moment, by the way. I love the sportsmanship in this league. Everybody knows each other. At the end of the second period, as the goalies switched sides, you saw a sneaky little fist bump between Beattie and Lance Parker, the 2 goalkeepers in this game. They know that they're both playing really well, and it's a fun game to watch, and so that's really cool to see.
Also, I'd like to give a shout out to number 18 who's got the puck now, Nico. He's the only Filipino national that's ever suited up for the Siam Hockey League. I think we might have had somebody in a part-time capacity, but he's the only full-time Filipino we've ever had.
Do you know his story, how he started playing hockey, or if he grew up in the Philippines?
I don't. Yeah, I think he did grow up in the Philippines. I don't. But he has spent. I know he spent some time in Europe.
Nice play by Beattie, getting a stick out. There's going to be a call here, and I don't know if that's going to be on Beattie for a trip. He points at his own chest protector to say, "What, me?" And they are going to say yes. It's a penalty on the goalie, Beattie, so Aware will have to play without a goal. I'm kidding. That's not how it works, but Greg Beattie gets called for the trip as he dove out to try to poke the puck away and got his stick tangled in the skates of a Lexicon Lumberjacks player. It'll be, speaking of Nico Cadiz, he's the one who is going to serve this minor. That's correct. So power play for Lexicon, attempting to tie this one up. Shakhnovsky in the face-off circle. It's won by Aware. Oh, bad break for Aware. They won that face-off and had a clearing opportunity, but it hit the official and bounced right back in. Thankfully for Aware, they're able to get it out on the second try. 13 minutes, that's all remaining. It has been a whale of a game for both sides, but Aware holding on to a 3-2 lead for the moment. That puck hits the side of the net, and it's around and out. 2 minutes left on the running clock. Minor penalty to the goalkeeper being served by Cadiz for Aware. So Lexicon power play. I think this is their first of the game. Shakhnovsky's shot right into the belly of Beattie. Puck loose. Arola gets to it, and it's on the doorstep and poked
Joe Seavey, the
Joe Seavey ties the game with the power play goal, and it is 3-3.
Is that his first goal of the year?
That is his first goal, first point of the year.
Should pick up the puck. Somebody should give him the puck. That's going into the Seavey Family Hall of Fame.
Joe Seavey the third.
I think he's heading to Chile next year. I think his wife's going to be teaching in Chile. So I think this is his one and only season in the SHL. Wow, we got a real barn burner here. Mike Lang would love this.
I was listening to see if Dom was going to call out Joe Seavey the third, but he did not. So Joe Seavey gets the goal. We are tied 3-3, and this is going to be a potentially electrifying last 11 and a half minutes in this hockey game, especially with so much on the line for Lexicon. Aware has not trailed in this game, and they have played very, very well. And I know in a kind of a snake-bit season for Aware, they don't want to let this one slip away either. They led 3-1. It's now 3-3. Puck loose behind the net, taken away by Kimarola. And some jostling in between the blue lines. It ends up an Aware possession, but only for a moment. Now here's Arola. Quick line change for Aware. Arola's shot hits Beattie, and it is around and out. And now in possession of
Lexicon
Aware, and there's a 2-on-1 coming back the other way. Here's Mancorn, his shot in on Parker, who stays down to the ice and gets the cover.
Well, it looks like Lexicon just took a group shot of espresso because they're all pumped up all of a sudden. I don't know. Aware's got to fight off this wave of momentum from the blue shirts here.
That's how I would describe the period between hockey games for us. It's a wave of espresso as we all sprint downstairs to get our cups of Tim Hortons. Here's a shot from Mancorn that goes high.
It's interesting for me, number 88, Roger Promtong over there, was his second year in the SHL. And his first year, before the COVID struck, he was like the rookie of the year. He was all over the place, but he seems to have lost his confidence.
That is Promtong with the puck, 88
he just
blue.
doesn't seem to have the same kind of, you see him there just kind of give up on it. He just doesn't seem to have the same kind of spark that he had once before, but maybe that'll...
Arola springs Shakhnovsky, who hits a divot in the ice and goes down. That's what happens this late in the day here when the ice gets a little torn up. You see some guys lose their footing. Mancorn has it. It's Williams who has him defensively. Held in at the line. There's a shot into the glove of Parker, who confidently takes that one out of the air.
There's a great story about Mancorn because a couple of years ago he decided he didn't want to be a regular in the league, and we couldn't figure out why. But it was because he could get more games as a sub. And he almost won the scoring title as a sub, if you can believe it.
One of the silliest things I've ever seen was the day that there was a tournament here, and he played in all 3 games of the tournament and then stayed and played in both ends of the SHL doubleheader. He played 5 hockey games.
It's like he doesn't get tired.
Greg Beattie just came out of his goal crease, took a gamble, and it pays off as he's able to actually interrupt that play. And then fortunately for him, the follow-up shot found him instead of finding the back of the net. But a nice play from Beattie coming out of his goal crease to play that one and keep it away.
And a couple of years ago, Mancorn got a game misconduct. I don't know. I think it might have been for spearing or something, but it was an automatic. It came with a 5-minute major. So I had to do a write-up, and I mentioned that. And I got a note from his mom. Please, my son is about to graduate soon. You have to take this out. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it was expunged from the record.
There's another penalty, by the way, going against Aware as George Hartsoan skates
That's
off.
not what they need right now.
And
that's definitely not what they need right now.
This is a huge penalty kill here for Aware. You saw Lexicon convert to tie the game on their last power play. They're 1 for 1 in this hockey game. There's Maillard on the face-off, just taking the puck and keeping it himself. Maillard very nearly created a shorthanded scoring opportunity, but now Shaknovsky back. Seavey, who scored the most recent goal, was next to him, but puck still out at neutral ice. The clock runs during power plays, which can be an advantage for the penalty-killing team if they're able to get some whistles, because that just runs a lot of clock off. But for now, it's in the offensive end. Justin Saint-Denis is down there fighting for it for Lexicon, trying to get the offense started, but coming away with the puck and clearing was Michael, and that's a long flip that will count as a shot on goal as it's gloved by Parker. 45 seconds gone, 1:40 remaining. Kim Arola on the power play for Lexicon. Spins away, maintains puck possession in the corner. It's a 3-3 hockey game with 7 minutes left. Shaknovsky's shot did not get through, and it will be cleared. And now a potential 2-on-1 if they hurry. That was a pretty nice play, carrying that puck in on a string from Yin. And if he'd gotten that one maybe a couple centimeters higher, it might have been aiming at that top corner, but instead Parker gets the save, and now with 1 minute left in the power play, that shot was low and kicked away from harm by Beatty. And now it'll be another clearing opportunity as Maillard has it and floats it out to center. And the clock continues to run as the power play down to about 50 seconds remaining. This will be a big kill for Aware, trying to get this game at the very least to overtime. It's 3-3, and we're coming up on the 6-minute mark remaining here in the third period. 38 shots from Lexicon, 29 from Aware. Here's Panhong Zwadi. He comes in, and that one's in. Wow. Couldn't tell that snuck through. I don't think anybody on the ice.
There was a delayed reaction there. Nobody was sure if it was in or not, but it was a nice effort, nice solo effort there.
That barely got across. I think that fooled everybody, including me, whether that actually got in or not. But 2 for 2 on the power play, and these 2 penalties.
Let's just see if Aware has some pushback here, because they've played a good game. This game should go to OT. It'd be sad to see. Let's see if they can bring it in the last 5 minutes here. Because I think this has been one of their best outings. They've been in this game since the get-go.
For Panhong Zwadi, that is his second goal of the season.
Yeah. Nice goal, nice effort.
This game would be, for this to be decided potentially on 2 power plays within the last 9 minutes of regulation. That's something.
Yeah, and that one penalty, I'm surprised, because it looked like Mancorn really deserved an embellishment penalty as well.
Kim Arola now trying to
put that was a nice save. That was a nice
icing on it. Beatty keeps it out. Greg Beatty now has 36 saves on 40 shots against in this hockey game. That one misses wide. Lexicon has the fresh legs here in the third period, though, as they've turned a 3-2 deficit in this period into a 4-3 advantage. That shot is gloved and covered by Beatty. Down to 4.5 minutes remaining. 41 shots from Lexicon, 29 from Aware, and both goalkeepers have been sparkling in this one.
So just in terms of the lineup, Aware has 10 players skating tonight, so they've got 2 full lines. Lexicon has 1 extra player floating through, so they've got 11 skaters. That takes its toll late in the game. That 1 extra guy can make a difference, surprisingly or not. That little bit of extra wind late in the game can be a difference maker.
As we told you right at the beginning, this game, a lot of key components are not in the lineup for Lexicon. No Kinborn, no Omelka. For Aware, no Forstner, no Bauer, no Ono.
Yeah, we don't know what the deal is with Forstner. He said he was going to quit the league, but hopefully that was just words in anger, and he'll be back because his stick was broken at the last game, and he got really disappointed. He was talking about being burnt out and everything, but he's such a valuable member of that squad that I hope that was just...
That'd be a shame mid-season.
Yeah, I don't think he'll do it. He's obviously very, very frustrated with the way things have gone with the team, and he's actually a partner with Stasny in the barn. Him and Jan. Tom actually has 2 tie partners in that operation with him, Jan and Patrick.
3 minutes left here in this hockey game. It's 4-3 Lexicon leading Aware. Shaknovsky has it. He's got a goal in this game and fires that one in on net, but it's saved by Beatty. Saint-Denis in possession, just trying to play some keep away here as Aware at some point, I would imagine within the next 60 seconds or so, is going to look at potentially taking Beatty out of the cage and bringing the extra attacker on to try to even this up. I want to thank all of our production crew this evening. It has been a pleasure, as always, to bring it to you. I will not be here most likely next Sunday, so I'm sure Lance Parker or whoever sits in my chair is going to do a fantastic job, as always, and I will be watching wherever I may be. But I want to thank Keith Mueller, the executive producer of Hockey Night in Thailand, camera crew Jin, Pang, Ellie, Opor, Tanya, and Sonia. Scott Murray, who, along with being a great color guy, has been just the best asset we could possibly ask for. That's in! We are tied!
There we go! Good. And it's, you know what, we're supposed to be objective here, but it's just nice to see Aware. They've earned it. They've earned this right to go to overtime.
They
played a good game.
Who put that one in, and with 2 minutes left, we are tied 4-4. That feels right.
Yeah, it does. Now, wherever it goes, they've earned the right to extend this game. Now here's the Mike.
Now
reaching.
A potential 3-on-2. Maillard's shot. What a save from Parker. He was anticipating that one to go low. He went down, reached a glove up, and made the save to preserve the tie.
I think Lance was mad that he let in the last one, so he wanted to redeem himself, and he did right there. Now there's Gene again. You got to watch Gene. He's got that great shot. Oh, there's Roger.
That was inches away from being a Promtong breakaway. This game's certainly not over yet, and Beatty holds that one away. Somehow he shut the door
Pan
and
almost
kept
did it
that out.
Pan almost did it again. What excitement we have here in the final 2 minutes.
We've had 3 scoring opportunities since this game was tied 4-4 just a moment ago.
I don't think Lexicon had any idea what they were getting into when this game started.
Here's
again.
Maillard. Little dangle move. Maillard's shot misses wide. There's a broken stick on the ice. Trying to see if I can figure out who's playing without one or if that's from a previous possession. But either way, here's Yin, makes a move, puts one towards the net. It bounces over Devin Michaels' stick. And now a 3-on-2 back with Promtong leading the way. He's got Irikainen alongside. That puck goes in between a couple of guys and ends up just harmlessly out to neutral ice. We're down to 50 seconds remaining. We will have an overtime period next if it remains this way. But first, who knows what the last half minute here is going to bring. That puck still held in by Yin. 4 goals on 45 shots for Lexicon, 4 on 31 for Aware. That
looks like we're going.
Well, 25 seconds left. You never know. Here's Devin Michael. Feeds one left side to Ferguson, and a nice play. Poke checking that one out of danger by Nagayama. Mancorn was fighting for it. Kimarola comes away with the puck, but taken back. Both teams tightening the screws defensively as we hit 5 seconds, now 4, now 3, and we will see you in overtime. This is the first time I've gotten a chance to call an overtime game this year, I believe. Every time there's an overtime game, I'm not here. I don't even know how this works, Keith. Do we take a break or do we stay here? All right. So we'll have an overtime period, I believe, or does it go straight? It's overtime and then shootout, correct?
3-on-3, yeah.
All right.
I think it's...
So, 4-4 our score,
3-on-3 for 4 minutes.
I think both teams, Scott, can feel pretty good about how this unfolded. They're also both going to feel frustrated because they've both left a lot of scoring opportunities on the ice, in large part thanks to the goalkeeping and the defense. But this has been a really fun hockey game to watch.
Well, Lexicon came out flat, but this is going to be interesting. They've got Millard should be out there for Aware. There's no doubt because he'll
see him out there for sure.
Mancorn and Yeen. This is going to be because they've got Hideki and Kim out there. This is going to be a very, very fast OT.
So it is a 4-minute overtime period. As Scott was just telling you, the 3 on the ice, other than the goalkeeper for Aware, are going to be Maillard. It's going to be Yeen and Mancorn. It's Arola, Irakainen, and Nagayama for Lexicon. And we're underway. Next goal wins if this one's decided in overtime. Otherwise, we go to a shootout.
And there's Hideki.
Arola will skate back. It's Lexicon wearing the blue, trimmed in yellow and black, with the first possession here in overtime as they move from left to right as we watch it upstairs. Arola has it. Lots of open ice in these 3-on-3 overtime periods. Irakainen overlaps with Arola, who will just bring it back out to neutral ice and take some time. They'll skate it around. Everybody on their feet in the bench area on the Aware side as well. So bringing it in, here's Hideki Nagayama. Passes to Arola a little bit in front of him, but he'll retain possession.
Oh, there we go.
There's a turnover. Now Maillard just lost it off his stick. And
they're both kind of feeling each other out here. Now there's an opportunity for Kim.
Here's Arola.
Oh,
Arola
nice.
gets past the defense, but he's in a little bit too deep and just circles behind the net. Nice pass.
Oh,
that shot blocked in front.
Yeen's leg. That's going to hurt.
Did not get through on goal, and Lexicon will just skate it around again.
Yeah, we got a line change. Justin Sandanine on now.
Lexicon has held possession for almost the entire overtime period so far. That shot from Arola was a bit fast in the possession, but Sandanine is able to collect the rebound, and still Aware has not possessed the puck for more than just a very brief race down the ice, and we're almost halfway through this overtime period. Lexicon playing keep away. Yes, sorry.
No, just Yeen's wearing number 23, which is Oleg Kababov's old jersey. Oleg was suspended after game 2 for spitting in an official, but that's the jersey that he's wearing, the Russian's jersey.
Sandanine in 71 is checked and turns the puck over, and a nifty play defensively, and now here comes Harrison Oztamel looking for the winner, and he rifles one wide. And it stays possession of Aware as Chartsuwan picks it up. It's Chartsuwan, Oztamel, and Yeen on the ice for Aware. Here's Thor with it. Chartsuwan fires wide of the net. He had Oztamel with him, but it stays possession for Aware.
Aware's playing with it now. Momentum shifted.
Sandanine is out there for Lexicon along with Shakhnovsky and Williams. Here's Oztamel skating with the puck. 1 minute and 15 seconds left in sudden death overtime. That was just a long distance shot with no traffic in front that I'm not sure is exactly what Aware would have wanted in that situation.
Well, here they go.
We also see now a 3-on-2 as Oztamel lost his stick. Williams has it. Shakhnovsky possesses the puck. That one's loose in front of the goal mouth, and it stays out.
Shakhnovsky fed Justin Sandanine. It went off the post, and he was unable to get the rebound. The rebound was lying in the crease.
They don't stop the clock in these circumstances in overtime, even with the 4-4 game?
It still keeps going.
I see. So only if there's a one in regulation, if one team's leading, it would be. I understand. So we're down to half a minute left. This is pretty much the last chance for both teams to get an offensive possession in the overtime period. It's Aware that wins the faceoff. That was just millimeters away from being a game winner for Lexicon, but Beattie made the save to keep it out, and we have a whistle and an offsides.
That's probably going to be about it.
Yeah, that'll run the clock out. That was this close to getting in.
Yeah, Greg was lucky on that one.
Well, as you hear the buzzer, we will go to a shootout. And shootouts, the way they work here, is it's not a mandatory 3-player, 5-player shootout. I believe it's the first time a round ends with one team scoring and the other team not scoring. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is the time, because this wouldn't matter so much as the second game, but the first game, if the shootout goes on and on and on and on and on, it runs into the start of the second game.
I still feel like you have time for 3, right?
Well, I fought this battle before, and unfortunately, I didn't win it. So it is what it is.
Well, we can tell you the final numbers anyway, because the statistical part of this hockey game is over, and Lexicon 4 goals on 47 shots. It's 43 saves from Greg.
I think Greg had no idea what he was getting into today, but he really manned up. He really did a great job, and aware. He made at least 4 or 5 spectacular saves that would have been goals.
And Lance Parker made a few
Lance did too.
dynamite stops as well.
They both played well. It's really been a goaltending. Even though they both led in 4, it's been a goaltending battle.
So first one up in the shootout is Yin, who scored the goal that tied this game for Aware.
Can't go back. You can't go back.
Yin with momentum moving forward. Yin hesitates, and a save from Parker. He kept his pad on the ice.
Yin had him, and that was one. I think that was one of the best saves I've ever seen Lance make. That was a superb save. That was an NHL style save.
So now Kim Arola for Lexicon, 17 goals coming into this game, one of the league's leaders. He can end it with a goal here.
Wow, 17 goals. See what Greg does. Greg gonna stay in the net?
So Arola, right-handed shooter, coming in straight ahead,
and he
rifles one home and ends this hockey game. And Lexicon gets a much-needed win as they move to 11-3-1. What a game we just saw.
And Aware does get a point, and they deserve that point. Then overtime loss, they get a point. So they got something out of it. They played well. Good game all around, exciting game.
4-4 was the end of regulation and overtime. Officially, it will go as a shootout win, and Kim Arola was the one who put that one in the back of the net. And in a game that Lexicon played without Kent Kinborn, Dennis Omelka, we knew that they would need something from, obviously, their 17-goal scorer, Kim Arola, and for him to end this game feels correct. That's who it should have been for Lexicon. What a game we just watched.
No, it was exciting. It was really exciting, and I think full credit to both Lance and Greg for stepping up and providing some quality goaltending.
I want to thank all of you for sticking with us for our doubleheader here on this Sunday, and it's our pleasure to bring it to you. Lexicon with the win moves to 11-3-1. Aware with the loss falls to 4-9-2. And for Lexicon, keeping pace with KCG, who won in the first game today, it's huge. It's huge.
It's still a 3-point differential, but I think there's 3 games left in the regular season, and that the next matchup between those two teams is going to be the. But at the end of the day, first place gets to pick who they play in the semifinals. So that's what they're fighting for, the right to play who they want in the playoff rounds.
The playoffs, the way that works is it's just 2 rounds, is that correct?
Just 2 rounds. So if it ended today, KCG would be able to pick who they would play. So they're going to pick either Aware or Siam Mandalay. They're not going to pick a Lexicon. Then Lexicon would play the team that they don't pick. And then the winners of those 2 brackets then go on for the final. But the semifinals are best of 3, and the final is a 1-game championship.
Well, Scott, it has been a pleasure to do this with you. We should do this more often.
No, thank you for your outstanding job. We're going to miss you.
Thank you, Scott. It's nice to see you again.
Okay, thank you guys.
It's been a pleasure to bring it to you, and as always, for the entire crew, for all of our camera operators and everybody who makes this possible, including everyone who's back in studio, you know who you are. Thank you so much for staying up with us or waking up with us. I don't know what time zone you're on, but
that's right.
For the crew and for Keith Mueller sitting next to me, my name is Adam Gottschalk. This has been Thailand's biggest night for hockey, Hockey Night in Thailand.
Good night.
This has been a presentation of Thailand TV.tv, winner of the SHL Golden Mike Award for excellence in broadcasting for